Hello, welcome to Zoographist. I'm Dr. Fox. I'm here with a brand new tutorial series. Let's make a car game. Technically, it's a bus game. Yeah, let's make a bus game with Cinema 4D and Unreal Engine. When I started to create this game, I have watched a lot of tutorials, but let's say all of it are Blender tutorials. As far I can say, there is no tutorial, at least in YouTube, there is no tutorial to get Cinema 4D car to Unreal Engine. And boy, that's a confusing path. But no worries, I made it work, and let's see how to do it. Okay, here I am with Cinema 4D 2023, and let's open our Unreal Engine. This is Unreal Engine 5.1. For some reasons, when I create a new level, my OBS keep crashing. I don't know why that happens. So I already made a project here. But when you make a game, please choose the vehicle template. You can choose the blank, but vehicle template will automatically load the necessary plugins for this for a vehicle project. Okay, and I added the start content too. That's optional. You can add or you can skip that too. Anyway, let's open the bus game and hope it won't crash again. And it opened, thank God. Anyway, let's add a new blank world, or let's add this open world so that the world partition will be automatically set. So let's open the open world game and let's save it maybe in a new folder, levels or maps. Okay, and give it any name. I'll just bus world. Okay, doesn't matter. And let's address the first issue. I'll add a cube here and zoom in on that. Let's put it on the floor and let's see. The main issue with Cinema 4D users face here, that is the axis. The axis is the exact opposite of Cinema 4D, and that's a different nightmare. Anyway, see the axis. In Cinema 4D, the y-axis is the up, and in here Unreal Engine it's z-axis. And in Cinema 4D, z-axis is the forward vector, and here it is x-axis. And the side angle is obviously the x-axis in Cinema 4D, and here it is y-axis. So that's an issue. That's the main issue we are facing here. Okay, let's go back to Cinema 4D and make that right. Okay, for the y-axis issue, you don't have to worry anything. Unreal will automatically flip the y and z-axis. But the forward vector thing is an issue here. In Cinema 4D, we usually use that z-axis as our forward vector. But in Unreal Engine, it will use the x-axis. So we have to turn our bus, I think, minus 90 degree. Yeah, it's in minus 90 degree. And not just turning the object, we need to make the axis right. For that, turn on this thing and or press L2. It will work. And let's go to this transform settings, and not from here, just use this button and let's put it in 0. Make sure this is turned on, otherwise it will be, I'll show you, it will turn the bus back. So let's turn this on and make this thing 0. Make sure you are selecting the bus body, and you have to make all of these things 0 too. Select this one, press 0 and press enter. I'll turn everything forward, so the x-axis is in the forward vector, and yeah, make sure that is the case. After that, don't forget to turn this off, or else it will create some other problems. So our bus angle is ready. the z-axis should be the forward vector and the y-axis and sorry, x-axis should be the forward vector and y-axis and z will be flipped automatically. Now let's analyze our bus body. I have a bus null here and inside that there is a bus body. I added a bus, this entire body here, sorry, here, and I just made a separate body for this dashboard. I have some reasons and you will know that, you will understand the reasons later in this tutorial series. Anyway, I have made that separate and I have all the tires separate too. And make sure the center point is in the exact center point of our tire. Otherwise, if it is in somewhere here, the tire will be rotating in a weird way too. So let's put it there. And you can get Cinema 4D file into Unreal Engine with a Datasmith plugin, but it will bring the meshes as a static mesh. We need the bus to be a skeletal mesh. What is a skeletal mesh? It's the mesh with a rig, bone and structure and all that. So let's create a bone structure and we'll export it as an FBX so that it will identify the bone structure and it will import it as a skeletal mesh. So I'll create a bone here. I'll take my join tool, or I'll just create a bone. I think, yeah, I'll create a joint here, and that's in the center. Let's take our selection tool and let's put it somewhere, I think somewhere here. This is our root. Let's name it as a root. This is our root joint. So that's our root joint, and this is, we renamed it as a root joint. And we need 4 more joints for each tires, and let's make 4 copies of that. Let's rename it tire. No, let's just rename it as FR for front right. I think this is the right of the bus. So let's put it under that root null and let's move it forward. I'll just move this on the front right tire and let's reset the PSR so it will go to that exact position, and let's put it back in the root null. So we have our first tire bone here. Let's make a copy and put it under that front left, and let's change it to front left and reset PSR, put it under the root, and we have the other thing, and repeat for all these tires. And I'll also add a bone for this door and maybe our steering and the gear shaft too. Okay, I'll get back to you after that. Okay, I made the skeleton with our joints, and I have made the 4 tire joints, and it's aligned exactly like our tires. The axis, I'll select the B right. I think I messed up the right and left. It's okay. Our forward vector is X and Y is up and Z is the sideways. It will flip. Yeah. And I also have added some other joints. As I said, I have added a steering joint, an exact position of our steering, and I have the let's say the rotation to the steering too. So we can rotate in the, let's go to sorry, I haven't binded yet, so I can't show that not yet. And I have made a join for each doors too in their hinge position here and here. So that's my setup, and let's bind it. To bind our joints, I'll select all these joints. To select all of these children and this root, just press the middle mouse button on the root name, and I'll select the meshes, and let's go to character and bind. Let's bind. It will automatically add the weight and also the skin deformers. We don't need all these skin deformer, but just one skin deformer, and put it under the root or parent, whatever you call it, root null, this CASRTC null. CASRTC is the name of the bus, and let's put it there so it will work. Since this is not an exact organic character, our weight paint might be not right, so let's paint it manually. We need to select our bus, and for our bus body we'll paint this with the root joint selected. If I paint it now, it will be painted to all our bus body, and I think it's the root null for everything it already. But it's okay for bus and the dashboard, we need that, but we have some other joints too. For the bus we need a steering paint and gear shaft paint, front door paint, back door paint. To make it easier, I'll select our bus body's back door, press UF for fill selection. I'll select this one, and we need this handle and this handle to be selected, and let's go back to our paint tool, double click on this weight expression tag or weight tool tag, sorry, weight tag, and it will automatically switch to weight paint. Let's put it as 100%, strength in 100%, and mode in absolute. Let's select our back door, and since we selected this, and also don't forget to turn on this selected only option and turn off the visible only option too. Now if we paint here, it will only affect that door, and let's paint that door paint here. Now let's go back to bus, and UF for fill selection. Let's select the other door, and the handle too. Now let's go back to our bus body. Visible only is turned off, selected only is turned on, and go to front door. Let's paint it front door. Okay, and let's go back to UF for fill selection. Select the bus. I think, yeah, it's in the bus object. Select our steering components. I think that's it. Double click on the weight tag, absolute 100%, selector only, visible only is turned off, and go back to steering, and click. Make sure the entire brush is covered. Now let's repeat it for the gear shaft too. Okay, our rig is set here. Let's try opening the back door. Let's go, and I think it's in the x-axis, sorry, H. Let's rotate this, it's okay here, and let's try steering. Let's press F, turning that, and I think I have some problem, but in bone space I'll rotate it here. Sorry, again, turn this off, don't forget to turn that off, and let's rotate with the steering bone. Come on, sorry, we need to move to our object mode, then rotate. It's rotating okay, and the gear shaft 2 is working, and let's see the main thing, our tires. Let's go front left and rotate it, The tires is not rigged yet. I forgot to rig the tires. Right, it's okay. We can rig the tires easily by turning off our bus body. And let's go. BL tires, select the BL bone. Which one was the big BL tire? Yeah, that one. And let's select BL bone, make it smaller, and turn that selected only option off and make the tire BL. Now let's do that for all the other tires. All right, let's check it again. And what's that? Bus body. And let's try FL tire. Rotate. And it's rotating in the right direction. And we can rotate that too. Back, and our rig is ready. Let's save it again. As in a cinema 4D artist perspective, the rig is right, all the directions are right, and yeah, it's working too. But when you get this rig into Unreal Engine, you will be facing a huge issue. The bus will fall down, and the tire will remain there. So many crashes, and yeah, I can't show you that in my Unreal Engine. It keeps crashing, so I'm just saying it will happen. So I scratched my head a lot and find the issue here. The issue is our root null. The root null cannot be in this angle. I don't know why it. I think it's something with the projection method in Unreal Engine or something like that. But we can't get this root null facing this way. You need to flip it down. The root null should be facing this way. Let's put a 90 there and press enter. The x-axis should be facing forward, and for now the y-axis should be facing downwards. The y-axis, sorry, z-axis should be facing downward, and the y-axis should be in the left side, towards the left side. So that was the issue, and yeah, let's make it that way. We'll put it back and turn on our L thing here, so the other joints won't affect the rotation. And let's don't try to put it here, put it inside this thing. Let's put minus 90, yep, minus 90 degree, and our bus will be messed up, but all our other joints are still in place. Okay, anyway, after that we need to rotate back our body. For that, you can turn this off and go back to our bus body. I think, yes, bus body. Also remember, we have the exact bone for dashboard too, so don't forget to do the same for this too. So let's select our bus weight tag and press this set bind pose button, and also for the dashboard set bind pose. So it will be rotated, it will get back to the exact position we needed, and I think everything is ready now. So this was the important part to remember. The root should be facing like this. The z-axis y-axis and z-axis is always confusing me here with Unreal Engine. So the z-axis should be pointing downwards, y-axis should be in sideways, and the x-axis should be in the forward vector. X-axis should always be in the forward vector. Okay, now let's save this again, and let's export. We don't need the camera. We'll select the route and the KSRTC. We need to export it as an FBX so that Unreal Engine will identify it as a skeletal mesh. You can also export static mesh as FBX too, but this has the skeleton, so it will identify that. So let's export as FBX, and let's save it in a new folder, Unreal Rig. Okay, let's give it a name, KSRTC model 2. We don't need that model 2 thing here. KSRTC version 1, and let's save it as an FBS there. And let's import it into our world here. Let's create a new folder for our, sorry, I have already the folder there because we selected a vehicle template. So we have a vehicle folder there. As you can see, there is a off-road car there, and I think that's not the one, the sports car there. So let's create a new folder for our KSRTC and import. I'll drag and drop our Unreal Rig KSRTC1 FBX here, and the FBX import options will be there. You can also file import and import button here. All of them are same, but make sure the skeletal mesh option is turned on, import mesh is turned on, because we are importing mesh, not just the rig, and geometry and skinned weights are selected, and I think everything else should be okay now. Let's import and see. Okay, we have a bus here, and there's a lot of files here. All these are our material and textures, so we'll just put a new folder here, place it inside material, and let's copy all these into our material folder. Let's move it there. Since this is not a material tutorial, I'll skip this and get back to you correcting that material issue. Okay, the shader issue is solved. There was some issue with that alpha texture. I am not sure why, but I'll bring the alpha texture later. Anyway, we have our bus here, and we have 3 extra files here. Let's open one of those, and I already opened that. Okay, let's close that, and let's open one of those, and all other 2 options you can access here too. You just press this button, and this button will open the other 2 files too. You don't have to go back and open it here. So let's see what are these. The first one we just opened here is this KSRTV01. This button one here is our model, and we can change our material here. All the any importing options you have to change later, you can change it here, and yeah, that's much it. You don't have to change anything here for our tutorial purpose. We can go to the skeleton one, and let's see all our skeletons are here, and check our rig is working, and maybe front door, let's see, it's working, and we can go to one of these, and is it working? Oh, it's working, but in the wrong one. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay for now. For your one, remember to make it right, and the BR is in the wrong one. Since it is a back tires, it's okay for now. Anyway, That's okay, and let's go to our physics asset, and or you can go this physics asset and double click on that. It will open the same window, and there you can see the same root structure here, but this is not the bonds. These are the collision geometries. When some other actor objects means any other objects in our world have to collide with our bus, and it shouldn't be passing through the bus, so we need to make a collision mesh. For our body, we could make calculate the collision mesh with our multi-convex and just calculate it for us, but I found this mesh have some issues with the door, so let's put a simple box as a collision mesh, and I'll rotate it without that snapping, and let's okay. So you don't have to be exact, but try to include everything inside the box, and not too much of extra space outside. Okay, and for our door and steering, all this, we don't need a collision geometry since it is inside our other collision geometry. So let's delete those front door, steering, and the gears. We just need that collision and our tire collisions. Select all the tires. We'll replace this capsule type geometry with a sphere. That's enough. Let's make it as a sphere. So we have our geometry physics applied, and let's just yet, and we'll try it here. We'll press simulate button here, and the physics is working. The bus is slanting down, but as you can see, the physics is working. Let's cancel it here, and our importing step is done. So that's how we import Cinema 4D car, bus, any vehicle to Unreal Engine and give proper physics collision for it. In next video, we'll see how to run this bus with our game controls and give proper physics on that. For that, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit the bell button, and like, share, all that things. Okay, we'll see in the next video.